Yeah.
Yep. So
Sorry.
we have Animesh here. Animesh, you know the ritual, right? Like, so let us know a bit more about your background. And I hear you have two ideas instead of one, right? Which is always, I don't know, either extremely good or extremely bad place to be in. So yeah, like let's hear of your first idea, right?
Yeah. So I'm Animesh. I had an operations experience in No Broker. Started a small startup called Skill Root in the back. Learned a lot. Now moving on to finding the new space. So first idea would be dating app for kids. It's an uncomfortable idea, I would say. Dating app for kids, live interaction dating app for kids, like live video streaming dating app for kids. So
Okay.
yeah,
What is
and
live
like
streaming?
dating app for kids. It's
Okay.
basically Yubo for India, I would say. Yubo is a US startup, and it's basically Yubo for India.
Got it. Got it. What do you see are the riskiest assumptions, challenges?
Uh, the first riskiest challenge would be to assume that people will behave in goodwill and there are no pedophiles in the platform. The second riskiest challenge would be to like uh, obviously like it's all about violations and all. Like even the second riskiest challenge would be around people in the same age group not violating each other so much. So
Hmm.
these are the riskiest assumption I would say. Yeah.
So how
So,
young is this young? Just to set,
Uh,
like the context.
yeah. 13 to 18.
got it. Got it. Understood. And what do you think? Let's say, your app is fantastic and, people sign up and two people meet each other. And, something goes wrong after they meet and they start talking. Who do you think will be responsible? Because in India, वो है ना कि पापा देखो उसने ये बोला, right? Like, so
Yeah.
what happens when papa comes after you?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, there will be safety guidelines provided to everyone, and people sign up on those safety guidelines. As a
People as in who signs up?
like kids have to sign up. Second,
Yeah, and
there
do you
yeah,
think kids are like, whatever they sign, like it is like a legal thing, like,
no, it's not a
that
legal yeah, it's not a legal entity. They have to be verified by their parents. So essentially, you need to position yourself as a friend dating app instead of a dating app. Like not for casual hookups, for speed dating mostly in the initial phase of the product.
I think if you call it JE mentorship app, right? Like it'll probably it'll probably do 10x better than calling it whatever dating dating app, right? But yeah, man, like my mind is blown, right? Like I'll be honest, like what on earth is this? Like, is this? I can understand it's a problem, right? Like, but what makes you want to solve this problem is
Yeah.
my question.
So it's like for me, it's a personal experience. I was limited to my classroom experience, I would say,
Hmm.
and in the like even in the locality, I won't get to know people around me. So for me, it's a personal problem statement. For others, I have fascinatedly found many Indian users on Ublue, many Indian teens on Ublue who are currently unregulated, unauthorized, unconfirmed. So in US, they are confirmed within a 24 hours by calling them or taking a picture of them. In India, people are not confirmed. These teenagers are not confirmed. So I do definitely know that there is a market of it.
Got it. And what do you think? I mean, there is. Do you think there is another stakeholder involved here who
Yes,
might?
parents are involved. Yeah,
And
parents.
how do you think they will react?
Yeah. So definitely, the the reaction can be quite brutal, I would say. But if it's all about the positioning statements itself, so I think I'll be positioning it as a speed friendship app in the initial phase, and let's see how it goes.
गॉट इट गॉट इट और इतना क्या गहरा दर्द हुआ यार तुमको जब तुम 13-14 साल के थे कि अभी तक वो like you're thinking all these years later. Yes, Raj.
No, I mean, I think one thing I know for sure is that I get the problem. The problem exists, no doubt about that. The downside risks, though, are insane. There's a good chance that you might have to be on the run for your life, right? Given that this is India, because if my school experiences are to speak for anything, the way parents would come to school and sort of like act like the whole world has crashed when they find their kid, whatever, like dating or even kissing someone, whatever, right? Is insane. So you'll probably have to get out of India before you even want to start this,
Like,
company.
but it's
So
happening in an informal way through Snapchat, though. It's not recognized, I would say. Even parents don't support Snapchat as well, but it's happening in an informal way through
So,
Snapchat.
Animesh, here is a question for you. Do you think these, let's say, let's forget 17, 18 maybe, but kids who are 13, 14, 15, uh, are they mature enough to understand or even handle these? I mean, classmates is very different, right? Like if I'm in the same class, I probably know the, but strangers, are they? Do you think they're mature enough to manage this process?
Okay, yeah. So I think the reason being many of these 13 to 15 year folks are live on Instagram hosting events. Like, even if they are not famous, they so my idea is on the side of live dating apps. So the entire process of dating, I think they are quite aware about it. I am looking at the positive side of the thing, which is that many people in their age group of 13 to 18 don't even like talk to girls, like, and they graduate and
But
uh,
that's a very different problem, right? That's a very different problem. I mean,
yeah, yeah, you tell.
my question to you would be, there might be behavioral issues, right? Like, so for example, even adults are not very good at uh, let's say somebody's paying attention to you and then they stop paying attention to you. Even adults are not good at handling that kind of situation. Now, if that happens to, let's say, 14-year-old, what is the responsibility that the platform bears?
Uh, if I have to be honest, technically, I don't have to face the responsibility.
Hmm.
To be honest, I don't have to face the responsibility of this situation. Uh, all I can do is have blogs and like have awareness around how to deal with breakups or how to deal with friendship errors. That's all I can do from my side.
Sure. And do you think there is any Play Store policy if you were to just like, what is the regulation scene there?
Like the regulations, as far as I know from my research, the regulation is all about underage people having sex. Like, apart from that, the regulation is totally gray. The regulation around here is totally gray. Like, you
Do you
can,
do you see a possibility that the platform will be dragged to a court in case of something really goes bad? Because in instances, right? Like if you just reflect back on last 3 4 years, I think some DPS RK Puram guy committed suicide after he was doxxed, or so there have been instances like that. Uh,
yeah, I do agree with you on this. Yeah, like there are things that can go to court, but Yellow was the initial friend dating app in US, and it had faced a lot of criticism. There were pedophiles who were harming kids. They pivoted to Yubo by tying up with a security regulation platform,
hmm.
like a security regulation platform that they are our backers and helpers. So by
Hmm.
tying up, I don't know how did this entire thing work, but definitely it's a point to research.
Hmm. So the downside risks, as Raj said, are very high, and I would evaluate if I were in your position whether, am I really passionate about, am I willing to take on those risks, right? Ultimately, that's the question you need to ask here. Raj?
yeah, I think with that we can, I think, move on to your next idea and keep it, quick,
Sure.
because we have our final guest who's to come.
Yeah. So next idea would be Stack Overflow and HackerRank for no code. Stack
And what
Overflow and
is
HackerRank for no code.
so what does that mean, right? Like for folks in the audience, what does Stack Overflow do? What does HackerRank do? And what does it have to do with no code?
Yeah. So no code tools are the emerging tools right now in the market that help even a non-coder code basic products up till MVP, minimum viable product. Now, Stack Overflow helps you answer the queries you have in the no code space. So if I'm stuck in Bubble, I can post a query and I'll get a response. So it's a question answer platform that's available in the coding world, but it's not available in the no code world. Second problem statement is the hacker rank. So many of these new folks try no code and they are not able to implement many of those projects because they are they don't find any use case out there. So HackerRank is a coding challenge platform that provides you with all the coding challenges available in the market. On a similar scale, if it's in no code space, it will drive the proof of concept stage of the education part more. So These are the two
No, no, I
ideas.
mean this is the same idea, yeah. Like no comments really. Raj,
I
anything?
think my only question here is that when it comes to code, right? Code is like I can write code in a text editor, and it's very easy to train. I mean, very easy as in doesn't take much to train someone, right? When it comes to that, but that may not be the case with no code tools, because no code tools are very specific, right? They are a tool in themselves. So how do you plan on integrating all of that into your platform? And code, what tends to happen is that it's rather stable, right? The language doesn't change over time. Of course, there are libraries which come and go, but when it comes to no code, like there are constant updates being rolled out for softwares, and the answers given a year ago might not be relevant. They might break, right? Like in the future. So how are you thinking about that? Right. That's my only like sort of.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
other thing is just adding on Animesh, right? Most of these platforms have their own education initiatives, right? So that may not be the case, let's say, with JavaScript is like, is that, I hope that is the language. Yeah, whatever. So you get it, right? Like that is not, but if you go to Webflow, there is Webflow University. If you go to, something like Airtable, there is fair bit of education that is done on these platforms. So how exactly do you think your no code or whatever, right? Will add value.
So yeah, so answering to like both Raj and Aditya question would come to this boil down to this fact that what kind of users am I targeting for my Stack Overflow? So there are people who use no code that have integration problem with other no code or with coding apps. These kind of questions are generally unaddressed even in the platform own forum. So like if Bubble has a forum, or if Webflow has a forum of itself, or has a university of itself, it would be mostly unaddressed, because people out there who are answering are essentially no coders itself. And if we see the user persona of no coders, like 80 to 70% of them are actually developers, like actually developers who are not that active on forum. So I might have confused a little bit, right? So
Sure.
yeah.
And how did you do the user research?
I had these 4 to 5 questions. It's mostly to understand how, like, what are no coders, because
Right.
I'm new to the space. It's mostly on the lines of understanding no code. Like, when have you started? Which apps do you use? Why do you use it? What is the nearest problem statement you're looking forward to solve this? Where do you get stuck? So it's mostly on the lines of to understand the user persona.
Sure. Yeah. Thank Raj. I don't have any
Yeah,
questions.
I
Thank you,
think
Animesh.
this is good, man. Like good comeback, recovery, whatever from the
He,
pretty.
he's going barbell, no? Like one very crazy idea and one okay sane idea per se. Yeah.
So
Okay.
thanks, Animesh. I hope this was helpful to you.